Imagine a world where technology's rules shape your news, your purchases, even your city, without your consent. The architects aren't just in Silicon Valley, they're in Beijing. While the world obsesses over flashy AI tools, China is quietly writing the global operating system for AI. This is a silent takeover, not with armies, but with code, standards, and regulations. China aims to write the constitution for our AI-driven future. Whoever defines AI standards will control data, ethics, and the architecture of future cities. And right now, China is quietly seizing that power. We've been told there's an epic AI race between the US and China, a dramatic sprint for technological supremacy, but that's a dangerous illusion. The Chinese Communist Party isn't just trying to win the race, it's redesigning the racetrack, the rules, and acting as referee. While the West builds faster cars, China builds the roads, writes the traffic laws, and installs surveillance at every turn. American companies compete for market share. China focuses on technical standards, governance, and ethics. These foundations will dictate how all AI systems interact globally. If the world adopts China's standards, it won't matter who builds the best algorithm, everyone will have to play by China's rules. It's a brilliant strategy. Let the West win the battles while China positions itself to win the war. The myth of the race distracts us from the real threat: China's systematic effort to set the global operating principles for AI. This isn't about technological one-upmanship, it's about ideological dominance, using standards as the most powerful weapon in the fight for the future. The real contest is over who writes the rules, not who crosses the finish line first. And right now, China is quietly rewriting the playbook. In the West, tech companies compete and clash with government. In China, they're instruments of state power. Giants like Huawei, Alibaba, Tencent, and Baidu are assigned roles in a national strategy coordinated by the party. Policies like the New Generation AI Development Plan designate each company as a champion in a specific field. Baidu for autonomous driving, Alibaba for smart cities, Tencent for medical AI, Huawei for infrastructure. This isn't a free market, it's a military-style campaign to conquer global AI sectors. Chinese companies collaborate, share data, and receive state support, creating a unified front. The result, a powerful engine for development where corporate success is tied to party objectives. These companies don't just sell products, they export a technological ecosystem built for CCP-style governance. When Huawei builds networks abroad, it lays the groundwork for Chinese AI standards. Alibaba Cloud offers not just storage, but a platform built on Chinese rules. This public-private fusion gives China a massive advantage, a coordinated push to embed its technology and its values deep into other nations' infrastructure. The world gets modern tech, but also a model of governance designed for control. China's tech giants are the vanguard of a global strategy, not just businesses. China's AI regulations aren't just for domestic control, they're prototypes for global export. The massive Chinese market is a laboratory for testing and perfecting AI governance standards. Rules on data security and algorithmic transparency sound reasonable, but are built for state control, mandating government access and political censorship. Once battle-tested at home, these regulations are offered to other countries as ready-made solutions. Many developing nations, lacking resources to craft their own rules, find China's package tempting. It's a turnkey solution for digital authoritarianism, wrapped in the language of safety and stability. If enough countries adopt China's framework, it creates a network effect, forcing international companies to comply with Chinese-style rules. Gradually, the global tech ecosystem shifts towards state control and censorship. What starts as domestic policy in Beijing becomes the international baseline, not by force but by exporting regulatory DNA. China's ambition is to make its standards the default for the world. The result, a global digital order that prioritizes control over liberty. And the world may not even realize it's happening. China's plan to set global AI standards is already in motion, across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. The strategy bundled Chinese AI tech with Chinese rules, through initiatives like the Digital Silk Road. China builds digital infrastructure, smart cities, networks, payment systems, embedding its standards and values. Smart city packages from Huawei and Alibaba promise efficiency, but import a model of surveillance and social control. Governments become dependent on Chinese tech for upgrades and support, locking them into Beijing's ecosystem. This technological dependency gives China leverage, ensuring alignment with its interests and standards. It's digital colonialism, sovereignty eroded not by armies but by algorithms. The price for modern tech is digital autonomy. Chinese standards spread through e-commerce, payments, and social media, each a vehicle for surveillance and control. By flooding the developing world with its tech, China creates a bloc of nations supporting its vision for AI governance. Its standards become the default, shaping the rules for billions. The world's digital future is being built, one Chinese system at a time, and the cost is freedom. China isn't just exporting tech, it's capturing the institutions that set global rules. International bodies like the ITU and ISO decide the technical specs for everything from the internet to telecom. China systematically places its experts in leadership roles and floods these organizations with technical proposals. A Chinese national has led the ITU since 2015, wielding massive influence over global standards. Thousands of Chinese-backed proposals aim to embed state-centric technologies into international rules. The sheer volume overwhelms other nations, letting Chinese standards advance by persistence. Proposals like new IP would redesign the internet for easier state surveillance and control. By working through legitimate bodies, China cloaks its ambitions in neutral technical language. Many countries can't analyze every proposal's political impact, allowing China to shift the global consensus. This is a Trojan horse technical standards that quietly entrench authoritarian values. Once adopted, these rules are nearly impossible to reverse. The world's digital foundation is being rewritten, one committee at a time. In tech, we celebrate the innovator, but real power lies with those who set the standards. The QWERTY keyboard wasn't the best, but it became the standard for a century. China is applying this lesson to AI. Setting the standard means everyone else must follow your rules. When your standards are global, the world builds on your foundation. Training engineers, formatting data, designing products to fit your specs. This creates a gravitational pull toward your ecosystem, locking in your advantage. It shapes markets for decades, giving your companies a head start and making foreign competitors adapt at a disadvantage. It's a way to rig the global market without firing a shot. Technical standards aren't neutral, they encode the values of their creators. Democratic standards might prioritize privacy and rights. China's will prioritize surveillance and control. By setting the global standard, China isn't just seeking economic dominance, it's making its values the default. Writing the rules is more powerful than playing the game. It shapes the very reality in which the game is played. The battle isn't over who builds the best AI, but who decides what AI is allowed to do. And China is determined to be the rule maker. This struggle over AI standards isn't abstract, it will shape your daily life. The rules set in distant committees will determine how your devices, apps, and cities work. If China sets the standards, you'll feel it everywhere, regardless of where you live. Your phone's facial recognition could be required to share data with state databases. Social media feeds might promote state-approved narratives and suppress dissent. The apps you use could be limited to those that comply with intrusive standards. Your city's infrastructure, traffic lights, cameras, even the power grid, could run on platforms designed for state control. Efficiency and safety would come at the cost of autonomy and freedom. The fundamental question: who will write the rules for our AI future? If China succeeds, the choice may be taken away before we even realize it. The future is being written now, in code, in standards, and in silence.